You're only a what if away from great holidays. Check out the deals at whatif.com. What if is Aussie for travel. It's Pete and Kimber with Ben Cousins.
Good morning. Good morning and welcome to the show. Hello, Kimber.
Good morning.
Hello. Just warming my tuchus by the fire.
You are warming your tuchus by the fire. We are down in Yelling Up because we have got Pete and Kimber's Gold Digger happening today after the show.
So exciting.
Where listeners are going prospecting for gold.
Yep. Sharing $5,000 worth of actual real gold nuggets, which at dinner tonight when we met everyone, dinner last night when we met everyone, we got to hold them.
Yes.
And feel them and everything. It was amazing.
It is going to be very exciting. And in the meantime, we get to just hang out in producer Rami's apartment.
Yes.
To broadcast this show. So we're very much looking forward to it.
Still in his pajamas.
Why wouldn't he be? I mean, cut the guy some slack. You're laying by the fire on this bearskin rug.
I know. Look at me.
With your hot cocoa in hand.
Draw me like one of you girls.
But it's lovely to be away. We're excited.
More on that, and we'll catch up with the people who are lucky enough to go prospecting a little bit later on the show. But we've got a big expose happening on the show today with one Ben Cousins.
It's going to be a big deal because we did announce that he is the winner of the Cake Off Challenge, where we all baked the Women's Weekly children's birthday cakes, and he won.
In a landslide.
Or did he?
That's a great question.
We discovered something in Ben's cake when we cut it open to share it with the office, and we can't wait to just let you know, everybody, who you voted for, who you chose to be the winner.
After 7:30 this morning, we exposed Ben for who he is.
This whole cake business should have wrapped by now. Okay?
I love what you did there.
Our plan...
Did you mean to do that?
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Should have wrapped by now?
Funny you say that because, we have been doing this cake off and cooking these Women's Weekly birthday cakes. And we've already announced that Ben was the winner. Good job, Ben.
Well
You've
done,
made
Ben.
a cake. You did a better cake than us. We're very proud of you.
It was a popularity contest. Anyway, whatever.
Look, I mean, I'm going to give him the credit and say it was a really good-looking cake.
Oh, look, and if you
it was a better-looking cake than the one you and I made.
That's what I was going to say. If you had to put them all side by side, sure.
Yeah.
He won.
So,
Sure.
he is taking the win. But it's just that Pete and I served the cake to the office after Ben left that day. And I think I would describe what happened. Well, we've got some audio, right?
We do have some audio.
Let's play that audio.
Oh my God. Oh no.
Yes. This is the best.
Get stuffed.
Oh my God. Ben!
That's how we reacted to what we found inside Ben's cake when we cut it open.
I mean, I would just use the phrase, is it cake?
Oh, that's good. That's another good one by you. You're on fire.
Is it cake?
Yeah.
We'll find out. What is trending? Producer Brooke will tell us everything that is happening, but the thing that has been on our minds for weeks and weeks is the P. Diddy trial. Because P. Diddy was up for a lot of charges and it's been going through the courts for weeks. And Brooke, finally we have a verdict.
Honestly, strap yourself in because this honestly reads like a movie plot. I cannot believe how it's all played out. So almost 2 months of testimony. We finally have a verdict. So the jury deliberated for 13 hours. So we've got 8 men, 4 women of the jury. They've made their decision. He's been found not guilty on 4 counts and guilty on 2 counts. So let me break this down for you. The not guilty verdict is for the most serious charges. And the 2 counts he was found guilty for were the lesser serious charges. So I know.
Okay.
So the lesser serious charges, the ones he's been found guilty of, they do still carry a maximum sentence of 10 years each. So still pretty serious, but they were the least severe of all the charges, and he has avoided life behind bars.
Okay, so let's talk about these guilty charges first. The 2 ones he's been found guilty on, maximum 10 years each one, but that's maximum. What has he actually received? How long is he going to prison?
Well, look, before we get to that, I just want to talk about how happy he is about this. So his reaction in the courtroom, because that was my thing, is like he's still found guilty on 2 charges, but it was like he had won the lottery. Honestly, have a listen to how happy he was in the courtroom.
As he was being let out, he knelt down in front of his chair and bowed his head down as if he was praying. When he stood up, he faced the gallery and he began to clap, prompting the gallery to clap and cheer. Combs' attorneys, they all exchanged hugs, and the gallery continued to cheer for him. I mean, what a moment in that courtroom.
Like a movie plot. Honestly, like a movie plot.
Cheered for him. They always, in the movies and everything, they always say to you, hey, look calm and look cool and collected in the courtroom. Don't react to the verdict. That is not what happened.
He still has sentencing. And his family as well, they were caught on the way out of the courtroom. They had the music pumping in the car, and this is what they had to say.
Hey, yo, we love y'all. We love everybody watching. So happy. Pop's coming home. God bless. God bless the whole world.
What was going through your head when the verdict was read? Happy.
Is that Diddy's music? It's clearly Diddy's music.
Yes.
But
did he say Pop's coming home?
Yes.
Yeah.
They think that he's not going away.
No, so he genuinely thought he was going home. So he thought he was going to get to go straight home. They did actually request his immediate release. They even requested, obviously he would be on house arrest, but because he has 3 homes in 3 different states, they actually requested that he could travel between the states.
Oh my God.
As well.
Under his creepy underground network of tunnels.
Also, like what the house arrest would be like. I mean, that is not the kind of, that's not prison, is it?
Compound
House
arrest
arrest at his place would be amazing.
Yes, well, he was refused. So he's been refused bail. He was actually due to await sentencing until October, but the judge has brought that forward and it will be next Tuesday. So, look, you did ask how long he'll actually spend in jail. That's a very interesting question. So they are actually only seeking 51 to 63 months in prison. That's the prosecution. So come on, Pete, can you do that math in years? Or do you want
It's
me to
about
tell
5
you?
years.
Yeah,
it's about 5
years. So that's the max. And so the defense team are trying for 2 years. So 1 to 2 years.
Brooke, you know, we've been privy to the text messages that were exchanged between Cassie and Cassie Ventura, who was one of the people bringing some of these charges and stuff like that. You know, did what was seen in those text messages have a lot to do with the not guilty verdicts, or were there people that you could reasonably look into the 8 men and 4 women in the jury and go, there's some Diddy fans in there. Like, where's it come from? Do you know?
Well, look, they simply have found that there just wasn't enough evidence to prove the crimes that he's not guilty on, but they did have problems from the get-go in the jury room. Juror number 25 was problematic. They sent several notes to the judge actually about their alarming behaviour. So the first letter read to the judge, "There's a juror who we are concerned cannot follow your honour's instructions. May I please speak with your honour and may you please interview him?" So they did find that there was one juror that was really fighting them. So I'm thinking like a Diddy fan. Just
right. Okay.
And pretty interesting too, the 8 men and 4 women. That's a really interesting panel that they've put up there.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that got through.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But look,
wow.
I mean,
look, and you know, he'll release another album from prison. It won't even be a problem, I
but
reckon.
if he even goes, he's been in jail 10 months. So if he gets a year, he's out in 2 months.
Yeah. All right. So it's not over next. And Diddy, I guess we just say, see you next Tuesday. All right, buddy. So where we hear more of the sentencing. Thanks, Brooke. Now, I follow a guy on Instagram by the name of Jasky Singh. I can't actually tell you what his real handle is because they'll take me off the air if I do. But I love his videos. And what he does is he goes out through WA and he goes and interviews people that a lot of us probably wouldn't approach in the first place.
Yeah.
Now, yesterday I caught one of his videos where he walked up to the Church of Scientology. There is one. It's in Rivervale in Perth. And this is what happened when he tried to get in there and have a chat to some people. Take a listen.
I just want to know, is there a media person we could speak to?
There is not. And who are you with?
We have our own channel.
Who are you with? Answer the question.
Who am I with?
Who's your group?
We've got 2 people here, Michael and Dave.
And what's your group?
My group? SIKKANT.
SIKKANT. Thank you.
Just lock the door.
Now, there's a little bit more that happened after that immediately that piqued my interest.
Okay.
All right, but we wanted to get Jasky on now to talk to him more about it. Good morning to you, mate.
Good morning, Pete. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
So, Jasky, you decided you'd just go along to see if you could go and check out what's happening inside the Church of Scientology. They obviously weren't going to let you in the door.
Well, I wanted to give them the opportunity.
Yeah, so what happened straight after that? They locked the door and they just never came back out?
They locked the door, and then, I found out after the fact that they did try and call the police because my barber has a friend who's in the police, and he was like, yeah, I got a call from the guy. Obviously, you did nothing wrong, so we didn't take it any further. And then subsequently, I got a notification that my TikTok channel was banned. So
now,
yeah,
that was
banned.
Yeah. Banned.
Your TikTok
Permanently
channel
banned.
was permanently banned. How long after this happened?
So the reason I went to the Church of Scientology, I was actually going to meet this girl who we came across that speaks up against some of the practices that people that join the Church of Scientology can negatively affect their life. So we're waiting on her. And I was like, look, the right thing to do is at least give them a chance to speak their side because we're not biased in any way. So anyway, we did that. They locked the door, went across the road. I was waiting for this girl to arrive. And I would say in about a minute or two after that, I looked at my phone because as we do when you're standing around, you browse social media. And I went to TikTok and it just gave me a notification it was permanently banned.
Okay, now this is what was wild to
my
me.
God.
That's the thing that hit me like a ton of bricks out of the video, because the way the video is presented, it looks like they locked you out, and then moments later you got that notification, and it was very clear that they had gotten the handle of your TikTok and Instagram accounts and stuff like that. So, be completely
Which I'm
honest
disappointed
with
you didn't mention on air.
Right. I'm sure people can spell. But so be honest with you, mate. Do you think it was them having the powers to be able to go straight to the top? We'll put our little
That is
tinfoil
next
hats,
level.
right, and immediately call and go, this guy approached, just ban his TikTok account? Or do you think it was a roaring coincidence?
Well, initially I thought the former. I was like, how have they managed to, within a couple of minutes, make some call to some person who has that power to permanently ban my TikTok? Because I hadn't had any, the occasional strike or whatever, but to be permanently banned out of the blue with an account that we've had for 3 years, I was like, that is absolutely wild. So that's the first thought that came to my mind. And obviously in the moment, you can't actually see what the reason is because they just ban you and then you got to appeal and then it goes through a process of sending you a bunch of stuff that's happened to your account. And after the fact, I realized I think it was just coincidental timing because it said there was a couple of previous videos that had triggered community guidelines or something, but the account was reinstated. So now I don't even know which videos were triggered or were they caused the ban, but the timing of it, freaked me out. I was like,
I can understand that. But also what sort of, because Pete was like, wow, look at this. Wouldn't it be amazing if they had the power to shut that down? That'd just be next level. And I was like, yeah, cool. But also I started researching because I went, well, what's the rules of Scientology and how many people are practicing it? Because they say that the churches of Scientology and missions are always open to the public and that anyone can come in for a tour and find out personally what it is all about.
Yes.
Except you. and didn't he know you had Mike and Dave with you, for goodness sake? I mean, I would have let Mike
James
and Dave
was there.
in.
Come on.
I know. But you know what did blow my mind, though, is I learned something. There are only 3 Scientology churches in all of Australia. And in the 2021...
5 apparently. Sorry, 5 apparently.
5, right.
In the 2021 Australian census... only 1,650 people identified as being Scientology members.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That's not many, is it?
Well,
Australia-wide.
1,651 after your TikTok account got reinstated. Justy. Hey, mate, thanks
and
for...
if you watch the video after the one that I actually did, just quickly, because there's a girl that actually I wanted to highlight, but I think that first video of getting kicked out was the one that got all of the traction and publicity. But the lady who speaks up against a lot of their practices, she actually showcased me a list of, it's actually terrifying, of like thousands of people that have been manipulated, avoided cancer treatment, didn't do any of their just basic checks for health because they believe they were a superpower because of the Scientology beliefs. So that's really important to see, because anyone that gets roped in, they have a very, very regimented brainwashing system. And I'm not speaking on the...
But also a big shout out to all our Scientology listeners.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't get to say whether you can or can't.
Right, and we wish this was a place we could go. Unfortunately, we have the rules that we have to live by. So, mate, look, thank you for jumping on. If people want more information, they want to see those videos, SIKKANT on Instagram and TikTok.
Where do I go to find out more about Michael and Dave?
Hey, Jassy, thanks for joining us, mate.
Thanks for having me. Take care, fellas. Bye-bye. See you.
I don't want to speak too soon, but I do feel that you and I have been getting better at this game as time goes on, Pete.
I think so. I think we're starting to get into the mind of producer Brooke, who goes and finds these stories on the internets.
Yes, finds the stories, gives us a little snippet, and then says, guess what happens next? And it turns out other people are living a lot more interesting lives than us.
Certainly are. So you can play along listening to this as well, right? We're going to hear the first part of our first story. It's going to stop halfway through. We're going to try and figure out what happened next and then find out what did. Let's go.
A woman in a quiet suburb always waved and chatted with her elderly next-door neighbour. He'd bring her cookies, help shovel snow, and seemed like the perfect neighbour. After his death, it turns out he wasn't all he seemed. What happens next?
He was keeping children in the basement.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
I mean, no, that's fine. It could go there.
It's just what I think's happening.
I was just going to go with people.
Because when you watch, the news and something terrible happened, and then people will be like, oh, it was the last person we suspected, and then you see the image of them and you're like, what are you talking about? I suspected that ages ago.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I think he's that guy.
I was going to go with she was actually watching Home Alone. And it turns out that was the old dude with the snow shovel in the movie, and it turns out at the end he's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see.
Go.
Police discovered he was a fugitive from another state, having escaped prison 30 years earlier for a violent crime. He'd created an entirely new identity and lived undetected in plain sight, even serving on the local neighborhood watch.
I take it back. Sorry, fugitive. I went a little too hard.
It's like I'm bad. It wasn't that bad.
Also, but you like to hear that he's turned his life around.
I know. Served on the neighborhood watch.
He's making better choices than he was making before.
Yeah. Okay, we've got another story here, so let's go. Let's hear the first part of the story.
A man in Japan had frequent noise complaints from the apartment below his, always from a woman yelling about footsteps and loud music. He tried to be quiet, even wore slippers indoors, but the complaints continued. What happens next?
This one's wide open. This one is wide open in terms of where it could go. Like, did she go upstairs and go in there and actually try to talk him through it face to face, and then something really bad happened?
I think they find out that the person making all the noise is actually a ghost.
Oh,
I think there's a spirit.
Oh, please.
Making all the noise.
Please be ghost. Let's hear it.
Police eventually investigated, and the shocking truth came out. No one had lived in the apartment below for over a year. Even more disturbing, the last known resident was a woman who had disappeared under mysterious circumstances, and the apartment had been sealed. They never found her body, but her relatives said she had frequently complained about noisy upstairs neighbors, even when there were none.
Did you just get goosebumps? I just got goosebumps.
No, because it just makes me think she's just a really, complaining Karen.
The complaining Karen ghost.
There was no one there the whole time.
It's been a wild ride the last 3 weeks, Kimber.
It has. We have been making these cakes from the Australian Women's Weekly Birthday Children's Cake Book, something cake. Now, we did announce that the winner of the cake-off was Ben, and a well-deserved win, because he made the old woman in the shoe, and he did a very good job. And I think if we're honest, Pete, you and I thought that he was probably going to start decorating the cake and that producer Brooke or Rami would probably finish it for him. We were quite proud that he really put the effort in and did a really good job.
I'm still a bit suspicious, but anyway.
He did a really good job. He deserved the win.
All right. He did, but we served the cake to our staff here, and when we cut into the cake, we found something absolutely mind-blowing, and I think everybody needs to change their decision. And we spoke to Ben about it shortly after we told him the win yesterday. This is how it went.
It's the competition giving new meaning to... Oh, that's easy. It's a piece of cake. It's Pete and Kimber with Ben Cousins. Cake Off!
I think the challenging thing with the cakes is that we saw these Women's Weekly children's cakes and thought, these are amazing and they're going to be a little bit easy if we just follow the instructions.
Mm-hmm.
And we all had a good go at it and we all tried really hard. We actually put in a lot of hours and a lot of effort.
Yeah.
And there's no question that Ben Cousins, you made an absolutely magnificent cake.
Yeah, well done.
Oh, I don't know if that's overplaying.
No,
it.
it's not. It's
I
not.
don't know.
It is truly great, and we saw it. Even the original photos, the day you made it, because the next day when we saw it, the roof was coming in a bit. But outside of that, we still thought it was really, really good.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
So something that happened after you left the studio, Ben, is that we decided let the office eat cake. So we put your big boot cake.
This is where it gets... I didn't know about that.
Can I just say something?
Why are you worried about the office eating your cake?
I'm not worried.
No, it's just that you said, oh no.
Is there anything you want to, before we play what we're about to play, is there anything you want to own up to?
Make amends?
Yeah.
Not this again.
I don't know. It's just, if there's anything you do want to say about why you might have been worried.
I'm going to hold my nerve. I'm okay. I'm going to hold.
Okay.
Hold.
Well, we went and got a bunch of beautiful cake plates and some knives and forks and things and little spoons, and we put everything out and we went to cut the cake to share it amongst the office.
Yeah.
And this is what Pete and I experienced.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm really excited to get stuck into this.
This is fun.
It's solid, isn't it?
Yep, it's very...
Oh, God. What? What's he made it out of?
I don't know, but that's really tough there in the middle. Hang on. Oh.
Jeez, is that like solid chocolate?
I don't know, but that didn't feel... Oh, my God.
What's...
Wait a minute.
Wait, he's left the paper. He's used a...
That's the
He's
Woolies
used
mud
a Woolies
cake.
mud cake and he's left the paper on.
Oh, no.
Yes. This is the best.
Get stuffed.
Oh my God. Ben!
Why do you think he would have left the paper on?
I reckon because he thought it made it easier to ice and he didn't think any of us would notice.
Ben Cousins. Ben.
No one told me you were doing a post-mortem. I didn't. That wasn't in the. That definitely wasn't in the fine print. I did check that. Have we opened up your cake? Have we?
Yeah, mine got dropped on the floor, and they still ate it like a pack of seagulls. They loved the cake. They got stuck straight in,
and mine got thrown in the bin before anybody had the chance. So,
so Ben, your cake was delicious. Thanks, Colesworth, for providing the interior. But the paper, was that your plan? Was it the icing issue?
Oh, with the infrastructure. I was just looking for it to be a little bit sturdier. And the icing, I was nervous about the icing. I did get it into the freezer, but I thought that alone might not get me out of trouble here, so I thought that might have just helped with my spatula. Okay. And it did. It did.
It did. I mean, it looks amazing, and it got you in really good stead with everybody.
But to eat it, it did make it a touch treacherous. It didn't. It did. A touch treacherous.
Hey, everyone's eating paper, right?
Absolutely. So there you go. Ben Cousins exposed.
That's who you voted for, WA.
Yeah.
That's who you voted for.
If you want to go and see the videos, you must. They're good fun. And also the video of us cutting open the cake to reveal what we found inside of it. You can check it out now at Pete Kimber Ben on Instagram.
Good morning, producer Rami. Still in your pajamas
Hola.
Because we're in Yelling Up and you didn't feel like you had to get dressed today?
You are in my beach house and I will dress as I want.
Pajama Rami, not producer Rami. I like these.
All right, I got a couple of yay and nays for you. Can you stop touching me, Pete, please? First one, signing up for a loyalty program.
3, 2, 1.
Nay.
Yay.
Nay.
I know Kimber would be a nay for this one. I love
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what. It depends. If it's one of those programs where they go, this first purchase that you're making, you'll get 30% off if you sign up right now, I'm like, absolutely. And I will give them a different email address.
Yeah.
Or if I give them mine, I unsubscribe immediately.
Yeah. My
You'd sign up to everything.
I do sign up to everything. I'm just curious.
Why?
I don't know. I think I just stand like I think I get anxiety when I'm standing right there and I have trouble saying no to it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like they go, would you like to sign up for this thing? And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
imagine if you signed up for a loyalty program with Qantas. Have you guys heard about Qantas?
No.
No.
Big cyber breach.
No, really?
Another one.
Up to 6 million people in Australia potentially affected with names, email addresses, phone numbers, birth dates, and frequent flyer numbers all out there.
This stuff makes me so mad.
Fun times.
Because when we have any kind of cyber breach, all you get is an email that says, just to let you know, we've had a breach of your privacy and someone's got all of your details. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then there's no recourse.
No, exactly.
There's no recourse
Exactly.
for them. They don't even get a slap on the wrist.
I'm so far. Like, my account details have been breached that many times. that, like, I'm at a stage now where I'm like,
There's nothing left
They've already got it, so whatever.
All right, second one. Everyone should know CPR.
3, 2, 1.
Yay.
Yeah, big yay.
Do you both know CPR?
I do, but I could probably use a practice.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I'm not saying let's cause an incident. I'm just saying I could use some practice because I think we all need refresher courses. Sometimes Pete looks like he needs CPR from just having breakfast.
And I'm like, I can't help. I've never learned. I got me thinking yesterday. I was just driving.
Have you
I was
never
thinking,
learned?
like, if anything was to happen in the office or anywhere in my life, I would be useless.
Oh, you should, because it's really not hard, and the courses are quite like they're affordable, and I think sometimes they even offer some for free.
Oh,
But
nice.
You should absolutely do it because it's pretty easy, and you never know. You never know.
I don't know if I'll help Pete if he cucks it.
Why don't you try? Why don't you try? Here, go.
Pete just wants the chest compressions.
Yeah.
And third and final one, solo road trips.
3, 2, 1.
Nay.
Yay.
Nay.
Yay.
I like road tripping with people. That's why I jumped in Pete's car yesterday.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring this up is because I did a solo road trip on my own to get to Yallingup.
You were
from Perth.
asked to come in our car with us.
Yes, and I vehemently said no. And I've been asked multiple times why I wasn't going with you too.
What was the
why?
reason?
Well, first I'll ask you guys, how was your road trip?
Oh, look,
Great.
we had a delightful time.
Did you talk non-stop for 3 hours?
No, Kimber talked non-stop for 3 hours.
That's
no,
why.
But that's okay.
That is why I went on a solo road trip.
But this is like I love that about her because I know I just sit there, just listen, chime in every now and again, and 3 hours goes very fast. It's just because we had a lunch that broke up the two of them, and I might have had some rich food in that lunch, and Kimber doesn't like a fluff. And so for an hour and a bit, I was holding it in.
Did you hold it in for me?
I held it in for you.
Pete.
It's a long
You're very
time,
welcome.
and that's why you feel sick today.
Yeah, did you see that vein popping out of my
you.
forehead?
Because
by the
road
time
trips,
we-
I feel like, can make or break relationships and friendships.
Well, there's a fair chance it could have broken one yesterday, but no, we did
really
all right.
appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. Well, coming up after 8, we are going to be talking about road trip disasters.
Oh, well, Pete, you should call through maybe.
It wasn't a disaster.
No, yesterday
we had a great time.
I was so grateful I was in Pete's car because we hit weather, and we hit proper weather, and I
couldn't
was
see.
glad that I was in a truck.
Yeah.
Ah.
Because it was huge.
The amount of times Kimber said to me, can you see out the windshield? And I was reassuring her, going, I can see, it's fine. But in reality, I couldn't actually see anything.
And while that storm was going on, I was having a dance party to Dua Lipa on my own.
All right.
131060, we want to take the best calls on road trip disasters.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, thankfully, our trip to Yallingup was not a disaster, I would say, Pete.
Yeah, it was. Not a disaster. It could have been a disaster.
I think mainly it was going to start off as a disaster because yesterday the general public voted for us to hear one piece of audio in the car for the entire trip.
Are you sure? Now, I'm just going to say, because I'm going to play the audio again. Do you want to take your headphones?
I'm going to.
All right, okay. Hit it. This was the audio we were meant to play. It's so wet. Okay, turn it down.
It's disgusting.
It is so wet and mouthy.
It is mouthy and gross. And you know, Pete, you did the right thing. As soon as you got the car going, I came up the driveway, up the ramp to get into the car, and then
Well, I did the right thing because I had no choice, really. Because as you heard what was blasting out of the speakers of the car, this ended up happening. Play the audio. Come on, mate, get in. You have to get in. You have to, because we've got hours and we need to be there by a certain time in yelling up. Come on. I promise I'll make it as painless as possible.
Oh, it sounds disgusting. Oh, good, it's stopped. Okay.
On repeat.
Why is it so wet? It's so wet. Oh! No. Can we just turn it down? Can we just turn it down?
I mean, it's a catchy song.
It's not even a song.
Maybe your baddie's let me sing.
Yeah. I feel like I'm inside their mouth.
Okay, turn it off.
It was enough. It was just enough. I looked at Pete with a very serious look that basically said, is this what you want to do with your life? Are these the choices you want to make for the next few hours? And I think without even speaking, Pete, you seemed to understand what I was trying to say.
I think it was the look in your face that told me that was a good idea. So, look, the reality is I turned it off.
Of course, because you're not a fool.
I couldn't put you through that. Couldn't put me through that.
But I was more worried that as we headed to Yelling Up, like a storm came through.
It was a big
one. And it was a
one.
lot of rain, and I was so grateful that we were in your truck because I did not like the idea of my car going through those back streets, especially because you see these disasters. You get road trip disasters where you get either breakdowns or you go off the road or any of that gear.
I've seen a few that have been pumped through my Instagram where people are towing caravans and that thing has started to shake left and right a bit, and then the next thing you know, it's over and rolling. And the way that they roll the entire car and everything.
Well, we want to take your best call wins on this. Road trip disasters, 131060. Call us and tell us about your road trip tragedies.
We'll get to them next. Stay with us.
We know nothing about gold prospecting, but we're about to find out a whole lot more.
Absolutely. And we happen to have the experts in tow, Prospectors Pick.
Yeah.
Right? So they're here with us today. They have brought all of the gear, this exciting stuff that we're going to be taking out onto the beach. There's a share in $5,000 in gold in them there beaches.
Apparently so. I mean, we put this out to all of you recently and said, if you want to come, then register. And our lucky winners who are with us, Amy, Braden and Kevin and their partners, have come down with the opportunity to win $5,000 in gold nuggets. And they're walking away with their own metal detectors to the value of $1,700 each.
It's not bad, is it?
A beautiful stay at Smith's Beach Resort last night and a gorgeous dinner at Lamont's where we all got to hang out last night. We had a really great time.
And they've all got various reasons for being here, which they had to send in to us when they registered at peteandkimber.com.au.
And they have been, it's actually really different because, in fact, everybody showed a genuine interest in gold prospecting and have some kind of history or interest in getting involved, but very different reasons. Like Amy, for example, Amy's entry said, I've always been interested in prospecting. Maybe it was her visit to Pioneer Village when she was a kid.
Oh, Armadale in
If
Perth.
you remember that.
If you don't mind.
But, you know, her and her partner have said things have been a bit financially tough over the years. Two beautiful, energetic boys, but hard to get on top of things financially. And they've had a lot of bad luck. And so they've got the house falling down around them. They're down to one car. This money could help if they find this gold.
And then there's Braden who's just like, I like gold.
He watches the shows. He's into prospecting. He can't wait to find it. He's always wanted the chance to do it and couldn't get the gear, and now he's going to have it.
Now, for those of you listening to this, this is the first time that we've actually been able to talk more about the people who are down here with us, who we had dinner with last night at Lamont's here as well. It was fantastic. But we're going to come back in a moment and just get to know a little bit more about them in just a few moments and what makes them tick.
And, you know, I must say, I know more about Kevin because Kevin's entry said, why not? Could be really fun. And we get a chance to hang out with Pete and Kimber.
Hello.
That seemed like a good enough reason to get him here.
Thanks, mate.
But he's smarter than the average bear, and I think he's a man with a plan.
What do you mean?
He told me something at dinner last night. I think there's more to this story. Yeah, a huge thank you to Rob and Denise from Prospectors Pick, giving us this opportunity to get listeners to come along, get their own metal detector, and get out there and dig for gold.
And it is quite the metal detector, the Gold Monster 1000. Now, this detector's worth $1,700, and they get to keep it.
It's awesome.
They get one each and they get to keep it. I was a couple of cheeky little fist pumps from the crowd.
They're very excited.
Yes, very good.
And so, you know, we had people register and say why they wanted to come along on this trip. And Amy is one of our lucky winners. Amy, you said in your entry you've been going through some financial difficulty. These nuggets could be really useful. But have you also been tempted to keep the nuggets?
Yes, definitely. I think we'll maybe, if we get lucky, keep some and maybe sell some.
And we've been quite vague. We haven't really told you all what you're digging for. You don't know how many nuggets. No. You don't know how far the metal detectors will detect.
I don't know how to use one, so that'll be fun.
We've been quite vague.
Well, that's why we have Prospectors pick here. They're going to show you how to use it, right?
But an exciting opportunity, and so it could go either way for you. You could use the money. But if you do find something, because a lot of people, you hold on to that gold, it's going to go up in value.
That's exactly right.
I think around dinner last night we were talking about the fact that only a few years ago it was worth like $2,000 an ounce, and now it's up past $5,000. Like it's climbing quick.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Amy, we wish you great luck because we are going to give you more information soon about what's going to happen when we're out there.
Looking forward to it.
Now, Pete, because we've left it so vague, around the table last night at dinner there were some conversations going on.
Yeah.
And Kevin said to me, how many nuggets are out there? And I said, I can't tell you that yet, mate. I said, I can't tell you that. Why do you want to know? And I believe, Kevin, it's because you were kind of colluding. You thought you might be able to collaborate with everyone. What's your plan?
I was thinking that if we're going to all...
Bring your mic up close to your face, mate. There you go.
Together.
Better.
If you work together?
If we work together, we could probably walk out of here with something each. But if there's a few nuggets going around, well, everyone get one nugget each, and then we can just go for gold.
Ah,
so
you're sort of thinking like this, like an Easter egg hunt. Like it's sort of, we could all go out on our own and get our own bits and walk away, or we could work together. And keep it fair and fair and square.
Grab one each and then just go hard.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
So if you were out there and you went, I've found one, or I found another one, okay, here, Amy, here's one for you.
Exactly.
It's the smaller one out of the two that I found, but here's one for you. Right, okay.
I mean, I love this because we've given no details about how it's going to work, and he's already coming up with a plan. I like the way he thinks.
Yeah. Now, look, we're about to wrap things up and get out here and get you guys out on the beach. But I just need to remind you about something, okay? You're under the impression that you are here gold prospecting for a share in $5,000 in gold nuggets, which is very true. However, this is also the Pete and Kimber Show with Ben Cousins, and we don't always tell you everything. And there's something that we are yet to reveal to you guys and the people listening to this show as well.
They're covering their faces.
Right. Now, that surprise you're going to find out when we're out on the beach. Okay?
And everyone else will hear it tomorrow from 7 a.m.
And you must be listening. You do not want to miss what's about to happen. All we're going to say is, good luck, guys. Grab your gear and let's get going. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Pete and Kimber with Ben Cousins. 6 to 9 weekdays. You can't miss Pete and Kimber with Ben Cousins, and you can't miss with whatif.com. With loads of accommodation across Australia, plus flights and more. Book your trip at whatif.com or download the What If app. What If? It's Aussie for travel.